Hello! Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Golan-Globus Theater podcast for men and women and all parties associated under the sun. With you as always, Griff and...
Tim. Griff. Shh.
Oh.
Shh.
Oh.
Shh. Shh.
Oh.
Shh. Before we get started, I just want to talk about something. You remember last episode where I was talking about if I ever got rich, how I would have people fight to my death, and since you weren't rich, I wouldn't allow you to participate.
Not your death, but watch people die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
That's pretty
and
selfish.
I just said I'm gonna tell you a story what happened this weekend. I was at the car wash.
Car wash, yeah.
And there was a guy who was hand drying my Lamborghini.
Sure.
And he turned to me and he said, "Hey," he didn't have a Chicago accent, but he turned to me and he said, "Hey, you sold out. You forgot where you came from, Tim. I heard last episode.
Whoa.
What you did to Griff is horrible."
Damn.
And yeah, I know. It was
agree.
Really out of line.
I agree.
And I had my bodyguard kick the shit out of the guy. You met my bodyguard, Brick Armstrong.
Brick is pretty good, people.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, he's got to earn his money. Well, hold on. All right. But then when I got home to my mansion, I was thinking about how blessed I am to have this podcast that lets me have all these things, and how blessed I am to have you as a co-host.
I appreciate that.
And I got to thinking, I need to give back. I can't just keep taking.
Okay.
So I got in touch with this charity organization. And, well, just listen.
Just listen. Okay. Let's give it a listen.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
Hi there. My name is Tim. You probably know me best as one half of the award-winning podcast, Golan-Globus Theater. But I'm not here today to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about something almost as important. Every night, literally hundreds of hairless cats go to bed mildly cold because of lack of fur. This tragedy cannot be allowed to continue. That's why I've partnered with Ponchos for Pussycats. Ponchos for Pussycats is a non-profit organization dedicated to eradicating the blight of chilly, hairless cats by providing ponchos to needy felines. Studies have shown that ponchos are the ideal clothing to protect your furless friends, while also offering them the full range of motion needed to lick their crotches. And for just 3 cents a day of your minimum $100 a month donation, Guatemalan children will handcraft these coverings of care from the finest cotton poly blend money can buy, ensuring that no hairless cat is uncomfortable ever again. Act now, and I'll make sure to send you this certificate at no extra charge that states I, insert name here, donated to Ponchos for Pussycats. I, insert name here, am a good person. Each certificate is authenticated with a genuine rubber stamp replica of my signature, guaranteeing that, yes, you are a good person. That's right, Mr. Frisky Whiskers. No hairless cat should go to bed cold, and with your help, no cat will. So please, go to ponchosforpussycats.org now and give as much as you can. The heart you warm may be your own.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then.
Jeez, man.
Griff, shh. I know what you're going to say. And no, I'm not a hero. I'm just another passenger on Spaceship Earth and trying to make the world a better place than I found it. I appreciate the sentiment. Not a hero.
Okay.
But you know who is a hero? Matt Hunter, a.k.a. Chuck Norris in Invasion USA.
Jesus, man. I thank you for leading us back in this movie, because I don't know what to say about that. That was just powerful.
It's not about me, okay? I don't want to make it about me.
You're leading us back there. I'm trying to get off the subject.
I'm just saying I'm not a hero.
Okay, I know
That's
you're not
all.
a hero. Matt Hunter's the hero. I mean, I want to start off. This is a big movie. This is one where if it made it up to the tippy tops, the fat cats and the tank tops, they would be like, we don't need to just worry about the Mexican border. We need to be worrying about the Florida border too. That's a border that doesn't get considered very often, right?
I never think about it.
Exactly. I mean, if this made it to the White House, we're not only going to have lifeguards.
Well, the border is like an ocean, so it's not really a border. I mean,
well, they figure out a way. Okay? All I'm saying is if this movie, which is more documentary than it is action
it's
flick,
a chilling statement of what could happen.
Exactly. We're not just going to have lifeguards on those, elevated lifeguard stands. We're also going to be having sniper towers, like 10 feet above them. So every 15 feet down the beach, there's going to be a sniper in full, armored gear. Because you never know. You never know. It might be Cubans. It might be Russians dressed as Cubans. You just don't know. This movie is chilling to the core.
I don't know if I can overstate it so much. This whole podcast exists because of movies like this. This is what you've been waiting for, people out there, all 12 of you. This is the movie that's going to change your life.
Right. And so many other movies try to combine us, make us feel humble to our fellow Americans. You know, Independence Day had the greatest duo ever of Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith. That's pretty much a match made in heaven, and yet that pales in comparison to this movie. American Sniper fails to show what one true dedicated American can really do to defend his country. And then the last, I didn't even want to consider this, but Rocky. People kept throwing that in my face. Rocky just boxed for money in his little gym shorts. No, this is it.
You could conceivably say that this is a buddy movie too. It's Chuck and his bazooka.
Yeah. Oh man, the bazookas. There is 95 different tropes that we thought we were going to see in a lot more movies, but this movie has so much going on. You got the strong silent type, Chuck. You've got Uzis. You've got bazookas. You've got female leads who are living on their own, strong-willed women who are angry but clearly sexually attracted to Chuck to no degree, where they're making nicknames and catcalling and basically inviting him back for a long evening.
And you got the murdering of communists, which frankly we should be doing now, but yeah, takes you back.
It really does. But I mean, I learned a lot just from looking up, just from seeing the credits of this movie, such as the fact that Chuck's brother and himself, Chuck Norris, wrote this movie.
Yeah, it's if you listen to all our episodes, including our first, which apparently everyone loves our first episode, you'll probably be thinking, where the fuck are these guys coming from? They just trashed Chuck Norris on that whole entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we did do that.
We did.
And I think it's because Chuck never had the proper material.
Yes.
He had to write his own script in order to make it work. And he makes it work because he's amazing in this movie.
And, Tim, when you say his own script, I'm going to go ahead and let the people know this script is 446 lines long. I downloaded the whole thing so we could kind of scour through it. There might be about 3 pages worth if you put them at, a nice, what's the standard college spacing and everything, but yeah, it's not long. There's a lot of action in this movie to fill in the gaps of the lack of script in this movie.
Chuck has, 20 lines, and half of them are Time to Die?
Chuck has probably 25 lines. You're right. At least a third of them are time, it's time, something to die. He's always like, hey, man, Chuck, do you want a cup of beer? No, it's time to die.
It's like when, Schwarzenegger always has to fucking shoehorn I'll be back in every movie. He shoehorned Time to Die 50 times in one movie.
Yeah. constant shoehorning of "It's time to die."
Well, when
But-
you got a classic line, you gotta
Hey,
show it off.
Chuck and his little brother, they knew what they were doing. What was his name? Ed. I want to say it was Ed. It wasn't Ed.
I'm gonna say Rico.
Rico. Well, Chuck's real name is Carlos.
Right, that's why I
Yeah.
assumed.
I forget what it was. I should have had that handy, but I fucked
Yeah, I don't think
up.
anyone gives a shit.
No one gives a shit, apparently. But the Norris brothers, not only is the Norris brother a writer, though, he's also a stuntman. Chuck's stuntman.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why does Chuck Norris need a stunt man?
Because of all those motorcycle stunts or something? I don't know.
Though there's definitely a stunt man when he jumps through a window. I noticed that.
That was his brother.
Well, good on you, Rico.
I didn't post anything to the Instagram last week, but when I
nobody,
get around
nobody
to
looks
posting,
anyway, so don't worry.
I still like to do it.
If we're judging anything by our other sites, so Facebook and Twitter, nobody's looking, so don't worry about it.
It's okay. It's for people when they want to come. It's a welcome table. It's not
It's a.
do your part and we'll do our part. It's
Would you
we
say,
do our part for the
Would you
people.
say it's a safe space?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't say anywhere you go where you have to be confronted with Dolph Lundgren's nipples or Charles Bronson holding some kind of sex toy. That's not a safe space. That's a danger place. I don't want to go there.
You just figured out why we don't have any traffic on
People
there.
are like, we can't recommend
Sorry.
these stuff or read.
Well,
remember
I
that.
will say we did get flagged on my last Facebook post for last week's movie. We got flagged. I have no idea why. I didn't say anything offensive in it, but don't worry, they got it all figured out and we're fine now.
But okay, so we got a lot of action filler to cover in here. We got a lot of plot holes that don't exist because you know what? This movie's 99% action, 1% dialogue.
So in honor of this 4th of July, prepare yourself for Invasion USA.
Can I put the star up this year?
Time for dinner.
No one thought it could ever happen here. They are an army of international terrorists.
America has not been invaded by a foreign enemy in nearly 200 years.
Their target, America. Their objective, control.
18 hours from now, America will be a different place.
Now, only one thing stands in their way.
It's time to die. Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
They wanted a war.
See you in hell.
He gave them one.
Send me a postcard.
Chuck Norris. Invasion USA.
All right. So, yeah, we gathered pretty much everything from that trailer, but, you know, the plot here is going to be scant at best. We've got, again, a lot of action, not a lot of lines.
Can I just say, first off, if you are a member of ISIS or if you're sympathetic to the ISIS way of life, can you please turn this off?
You know what? Not just ISIS. Any kind of terrorist against America, because this is pretty much just like an open handbook on how to infiltrate and win over.
Yeah, it was a pretty ingenious plot, I must say.
Yeah, I could see that, sadly...
Thank God Chuck Norris is still alive because he can stop it from happening.
He's looking weird. He kept his mustache like natural, but he dyes his hair, so he's got this really weird thing happening where he looks old, except for the scalp up.
Well, you can tell he's got some work done too. It's like it's pretty sad. You don't.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, if we're gonna kick right into this movie, it starts out with a bunch of, and this is all too relevant, people coming over on a boat and they're clearly trying to get into America.
Trying to escape communist Cuba.
Exactly. They're trying to claim amnesty. They've probably got somebody out to get them, and they're in fear of all their lives. And so this boat rolls up. It's an American boat. They're flying the American flag, right?
Yay, American.
Exactly. They're like the child yells out, "Hey!"
But then, as soon as you see Richard Lynch show up, you know something bad's going to happen.
Is that the bad guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Richard Lynch, classic 70s, 80s bad guy. I guess the best way to describe Richard Lynch would be like if you got a wax statue of Rutger Hauer and you left it out in the sun for a couple hours and let it melt. That's Richard Lynch.
That's Richard Lynch? Okay.
Yeah, and so you know something's up.
He is a little melty.
But they don't know. Well, I think he's a burn victim.
Burn victim.
I'm not joking. But anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So they're like, yay, American, we love you. And you're thinking, oh, they're going to help these people. Fuck, no, they're not. You just blow the fuck away all these people.
Just start mowing them down.
One guy, it was like Rostov's like, stop. And the guy just keeps shooting. Like, he cannot stop.
Yeah.
He just loves shooting people.
He just loves murdering poor people on a boat.
Yes, and then you're like, what? What's going on? And then we find out why they want this boat. Because there's cocaine in the hold or whatever you call it.
Yeah. We don't know how this builds into anything, and this movie is going to do a lot of different cuts. So they're going to do villain action, hero action, and just kind of keep cutting between that. So they're like 2-minute segments. So we see the cocaine, the acknowledgement of cocaine, thumbs up, we got it, and then it cuts to Chuck, his sweet mullet on a fan boat, just scouring those Everglades. Just he's like Swamp Thing. He's just protecting them, just mowing around and just making sure no shit happens in the Everglades. Like he is the border wall. Like he's doing the whole job. He's probably not even getting paid for it. He just wants to do it for the love of his country.
He is. He's out.
Yeah.
He is doing it for the love of his country.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he works with his buddy John Eagle, the Native American.
Yeah, Johnny Eags.
Where apparently this guy's like a Renaissance man because not only does he do tours with these fan boats, you call them?
Yeah, fan boats.
He also has a restaurant where he sells frog legs.
Oh, he barbecues them, he steams them, he fries them. Anything you want, Johnny Eagle can do it.
And they're alligator wranglers.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out what they're doing with the alligators. Maybe they're cooking them. I've actually when I was in Florida, I had alligators, so that was probably what they were doing.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they're helping endangered species. I don't want to,
No, it was definitely to sell for meat.
Okay. Well.
They sell it to that weird nerdy dude to eat. He's like, well, I don't know, and he's like,
I don't remember that scene at all, and I watched it last night.
It's fine.
So we establish he's off the grid. He's sick of all the fucking CIA bullshit, the red tape.
He's done enough of it.
So he's just chilling with his buddy John Eagle in the Everglades.
Yeah, and well, we don't get that long of a scene with that because it's gonna shoot right back over to the villains.
This is a great
again. They're just slicing in 2-minute segments.
I can't tell you how great this scene is. It's setting up what a badass Rostov is the villain's name. Mikhail Rostov. He's got the drugs, so he meets up with this sleazy drug dealer played by the great Billy Drago, who always plays sleazy drug dealers. Last time we saw him was in episode 1, where he was Chuck Norris's psychiatrist, playing out of character.
No way!
Yes.
Oh,
in this movie, he's playing right up to his usual sleazy way as a drug dealer, with his tough-looking girlfriend or whatever, prostitute, I don't know what it is. She's, of course, flicking around a butterfly knife because that's what you do in the 80s, letting everybody know she's tough. So what Rostov's doing is he's selling drugs to this drug dealer in exchange for weapons. So there's this great scene. I mean, and this shows how evil Rostov is. All he's got to do is sell the drugs, get the weapons, and leave. But that's not enough for Rostov.
No, it never is enough.
This scene is so fucked up. The chick starts snorting rails of coke.
And even before that, I love that the drug dealer, has a guy come in and dial his rotary phone for him.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, no, I love this.
Was that
part.
the black guy who came in later?
No, it wasn't a black guy.
Okay.
It was a white dude. He comes in, he starts dialing the rotary phone, and then he hands it to the drug dealer.
Oh,
I love that he has a guy to dial the phone.
You know
for
what?
him.
That's probably what pissed off Rostov because he's a communist. So he's like, the proletariat making people do that.
No,
so
you're right.
So how does he pay them back? He slams the back of the girl's head right onto this metal straw she's snorting coke with.
Yeah,
Holy fuck. And then he just shoots the drug dealer in the dick.
Yeah, just grabs him by his belt buckle and sticks his gun down his pants and just starts firing like 9 shots right into what was his genitals.
And then ain't enough. Then he's like, fuck it. He throws the woman out a window. She goes flying.
It's not bad enough that she's got a fucking like aluminum Coke straw into her brain. He throws her out of a window.
And then he's like, I think we were onto something because he doesn't even take the Coke back. He just walks out. And that's why I mentioned the black guy because the black guy who's like working like the counter and he comes in and he takes the Coke.
Yeah, eventually somebody else comes in. But high action scene. You're like, oh shit. Cut back to Chuck. And you just got this little government man rowing his boat across the little Everglades and he's trying to meet Chuck and it's quiet. But you see Chuck's got a super soft side to him because a lot of the shots of Chuck's abandoned little shack on the
it's not
Everglades.
Abandoned. He's living there. But...
Well, it's not abandoned. It looks like it could be abandoned.
Well, yeah, it's a shack.
But he's got a little armadillo friend.
Yeah, that's cool.
Puts a little saucer full of milk out for it, so it's got nutrients, keep itself alive. He's adorable.
He is.
And
then so the CIA guy's like. I guess apparently we're establishing Chuck worked for the CIA previously. And this is a classic action movie trope. The guy's like, Chuck. Well, he says Matt, 'cause Matt Hunter is his name in the movie. He's like, Matt, we need you. You're the only guy who can do this. And of course, Matt's like, I'm out.
I'm done with this. I can't. I know you need me. I can't.
And then the CIA guy comes back with, it's Rostov.
Yeah.
And you just see, like, Chuck's, like, looking away from the guy, and you just see, he just wants murderous rage, but it's subdued.
Yep.
Chuck's really acting in this one. And he's like, you should have let me kill him last time.
Yup. And then fade away again. 2 more minutes of a scene of our hero, back to the villain.
Well, no, this is
This is
an ingenious scene.
It is.
Because it's setting it up, so now we're back to Rostov. And he's, like, outside this like, building that's got a lot of armed guards. You see they're, like, dignitaries, like, in the window. And he's holding a bazooka. And you're like, holy shit, he's gonna kill the president? What the fuck is he doing?
He's about to storm the front gates of some big gala event.
Or is he?
Because
just as he's about to shoot his bazooka off, gun goes right to the head. And who is it?
Hunter.
And what does Hunter say?
It's time to die.
Yes, this is the first time he says it's time to die. And so we're like, holy shit, the movie going to end right now? Yeah. No, because what it is it's a nightmare that Rostov is having. He wakes up in a cold sweat.
Yep. And, of course, somebody storms in the room.
Nico, his henchman.
Nico? Okay,
yeah.
Nico. Is it that nightmare again?
Like, yes, of course it is!
It's always a nightmare! We got to get Hunter!
But he's like, Hunter, he's unimportant. He's out. We need to start this invasion. I will not start this invasion until Hunter is dead!
So, we're going to go ahead and just cut back to the Everglades. Chuck's there. He is, he's trying to do some, like, manly woodwork with the chainsaw.
I've used a chainsaw, and I'd suggest you don't use a chainsaw the way Chuck Norris is using.
Look at this movie as an idea for how to cut wood, because Chuck's just got it set up on a flimsy little, like, tri-legged...
He's got, like, some homemade, like, sawhorses.
Yeah.
And... So he's got a little chainsaw, and he puts his foot right up on
he just pops his foot on there.
I mean, the whole point of the sawhorse is to hold it in place.
He's trying to further stabilize it with his foot. It's fucking dangerous as shit. And, of course, because it's dangerous as shit, who's going to be rolling up on 4 different fan boats?
Rostov
and his crew.
No, not Rostov. It was just his men. I don't think Rostov was there.
He was there.
He was there?
He was there. He had a grenade launcher. No bazooka this time.
Everybody had a bazooka, though. There was a bazooka.
There was one, and they were passing it around. It was like a joy. They just kept passing it back and forth. Like, seriously, it passed between 4 people.
Fortunately, John Eagle shows up in his fan boat to warn Chuck. He's like, hey, look, there's some guys with some guns.
He sees to his right, and it just goes, Matt!
And then he's ruthlessly murdered by Rostov, just blown away.
Yup. He gets shot.
And so Matt runs back in the house.
Matt was already in the house, and then he jumps the fuck out of the house.
Well, no, he was on the porch, and he runs back in the house, and they start blowing the fuck away with the bazookas. But fortunately...
Grenades.
All of it. I don't know. So, I say bazooka, tomato, bazooka, grenade. So, he leaps out the window, or should I say Chuck's brother leaps out the window.
Chuck's brother.
And so Rostov's got this evil grin on his face. He's like, and this is what I found was strange is, I don't know how this happened, but the house gets blown up, but the roof and studs holding it up stayed. Like, the house didn't collapse.
Yeah.
It's just, so they just I don't know how that would happen. But good news, guys. I was worried as much as you were. The armadillo lived. He survived.
Is fine. I was really worried about that.
Yeah, speaking of armadillos, this got me thinking about, and this is for you, Hair Metal Sean, a video by, we're back to Hair Metal Hate, a video by a little band called Wasp. I don't know if you've heard of them. They were they were on the Filthy 15 by Tipper Gore and the PMRC for their classic song, Animal, Fuck Like a Beast. I don't know why they were on that. You know what I'm talking about. Wasp. We are sexual perverts. The front man.
That's what that stands for?
Yes.
Damn.
The front man, Blackie Lawless, the most poorest of poor Alice Cooper copycats. Chris Holmes on guitar. The guy who's best known for getting shit-faced drunk in front of his mom in the movie Decline of the Western Civilization, Part 2, The Metal Years. Well, you just need to watch that because he's in a pool chugging bottles of vodka. His mom is right on the side of the pool. Okay. Even I wouldn't do that. And you know my relationship with my mom. I won't even Facebook friend her. But even I wouldn't do that to my mom on camera.
Okay.
So let's get back into the little video called, and it's about the joys of getting shit-faced drunk that you're almost blind in the Lone Star State of Texas. This is Wasp, Blind in Texas.
All right,
we start out. We're in the Old West. There's a rattlesnake.
We got a little snack boy.
Blackie Lawless, shit-faced drunk, collapsed out in the desert.
Is that the guy?
That's Blackie Lawless. He gets up. Uh-oh. Rattlesnake's pissed off.
Snaky boy's pissed. Oh, he's pissed
like,
at him.
He's just like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked up drunk. And then he collapses. And then the tour bus shows up. They went back in time.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is back in time, right?
Now they're in the old-time West. So they cruise, they show up, come out. Blackie Lawless, can you pause it for a second?
That's the old Roxo the Clown, like from Metalocalypse
Yes,
outfit?
Blackie Lawless is wearing the deepest of deep Vs. It's not even a V, it's a U.
Yeah, that's
he's wearing like a unitard.
It's a U that swoops right down to his
Great
trail.
Pointing that out. It's exactly like Roxo the Clown from Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
Hit it again. So now they're like checking out the bar. They're like, hey, we went back in time. Who gives a shit? Let's just get drunk.
Well, yeah. Plenty of
And
whiskey.
I want to point out, Blackie Lawless has he's not fat, but he has like absolutely no tone to his body at all.
Oh, shit, you weren't kidding. That's very Alice Cooper. Like, he's got the eyeliner and everything.
So he's like, we're here for the gig. What's a gig? And then he gets a little red eye.
Oh, it's got to get that red eye whiskey.
So he's going to drink it, but he pours it on the counter and it burns.
Okay. Not only did he pour out the red eye whiskey, that's great whiskey. You don't do that. That's besmirching this fine gentleman here. What's with the saw blade?
Oh, yeah, that was his thing. He also, I don't know if he's wearing it in this video, but he also wore a cod piece that had a saw blade on it, too.
No way.
And it would shoot sparks. And one time, it exploded and almost burned his junk off.
Well, yeah, that's what you're asking for when you wear a saw.
So now they're rocking on stage. And these people are kind of like, well, this is strange, but I kind of dig it. So they're rocking out.
Okay. And they're like, we have never heard of Alice Cooper, so this is obviously original.
Right. This is 100 years before Alice Cooper, so they're cool with it.
They're cool.
Of course, one woman...
Oh, they're yawning. They don't give a shit. Got the Texas flag in the background.
Well, they're blind in Texas. So then Kurt Angle shows up. I don't know why.
No
then
one
we're back.
cares.
We're going back. Here's where the armadillo shows up. So Blackie's absolutely hallucinating. None of this shit's really happening. He's so fucked up.
But
I
he's
don't
got a
know.
little armadillo friend.
So they have
Oh,
armadillo race because they did that in the Old West, Griff.
Okay.
So Blackie's got a guitar case and he has his armadillo with a saw blade on the back.
A saw blade on the back of the armadillo.
So this is what, and then Kurt Angle's shooting up the place, and then what happens is his armadillo loses.
Yeah, second place.
Yet he acts like he wins.
And he
I don't
gets
know what-
money.
Yeah, it's like you lost, motherfucker. So
Oh,
then
no, he gets a no.
Yeah, and she says, "Meet me outside" or something.
So we lost. He just won the
I
consolation
also,
prize.
can we stop for a second? I also want to point out, not only is he wearing Dr. Roxo unitard, he's wearing like some like knee-high moccasins too. Which
Yeah, he is.
That ain't
They're
working.
pretty neat. There's a lot
No.
of tassels, and I think
Yeah.
that's going to come back. I've already seen it a couple times over the winter, but I think it's going to come back.
I'm not feeling it, but continue.
Well, it doesn't matter about you. Oh, yeah, those are moccasins.
So now they're
sure.
getting into it. Chicks rocking out. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, you know.
What happened? He lost the armadillo race, and yet everybody loves him now.
Well, because he's doing those great moves.
Clearly. And, I mean, they're no by no stretch of the imagination are those good moves. He's
Yeah.
basically crossing his legs.
And
This
then
is like a
the-
crisscross ripoff.
I guess the chick that gave him the message, she's taking off, getting ready to meet him at the place they're supposed to meet up at. Little guitar solo
the
now.
guitar has some teeth coming off.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
kinda
it's
cool.
like a skull and crossbone.
Yeah, and teeth and
That's Chris Holmes, the drunk guy. He's rocking
Yeah.
out. I forget who that guy is. I don't really care.
this is great. Everyone's into it now.
Yeah, and like they won him over.
I
Now, if only Tipper Gore had listened to this shit, she probably could have got one over.
dude, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
So now the
what is
girl.
it about armadillo races that equals like, hey, friendship?
Oh, now some bandito showed up, and he's like, Blackie's like, I got to meet this girl. And Kenny Rogers like, no, you don't.
Oh no.
And he's like, fuck yeah, I do. And he runs out. He's got the note. He's like, oh, she told me to meet her here. ZZ Top show up.
Why? There's even little subtitles in here. Where's Devil's Gulch? Oh, and
ZZ
then they disappeared.
Well, it's ZZ Top.
They
show-
did the ZZ Top thing, and
yeah.
then they disappeared.
And then everybody's like, hey, we love you, Wasp. Get the fuck in your bus and get out of here.
Oh.
So they take off.
What the fuck?
And then there's a little sign like "Don't drink and drive" on the back because the whole song's about getting fucked up. So they cover their ass by putting that there in the end.
They even is this before Bon Jovi in a Steel Horse I Ride?
About the same time. It's probably a year before. So
Okay, so Bon Jovi stole the Steel Horse I Ride from these guys.
I'm sure they did. So then now we're back. Blackie's fucked up again, but thankfully they stop for him. They pick him up before he dies out in the desert. And then right at the end, you see this note. It says, "Hey, I waited for you," and he couldn't find Devil's Gulch. Poor Blackie.
Fuck.
But anyway,
Hey there, guys. What was that beautiful music you were just playing there?
how'd you feel?
Yeah. What's up?
What are you doing here?
I was on my old hot dog route, and I heard you guys. I guess you were recording, but I heard some beautiful music, and I just want to stop in and see what you guys had going there. What was that?
That was Little Wasp. I mean, we're just sitting here talking about Invasion USA.
Invasion USA. I've never heard of her.
Well, you should have.
Yeah. Is it?
You will after you listen to all our episodes, don't you?
Sometimes if I hear it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, what are you here for?
Well, I mean, I was literally just going around the neighborhood, but, I mean, you guys are recording here, so, fuck. I mean, there's a holiday coming up, right?
Yeah.
I've been watching all of the cooking channels because, I like to watch them and make fun of them because I'm an expert chef myself, a hot dog connoisseur, if you will.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. So after watching that, they were all like trying to do this whole thing where they were coming up with a bunch of different courses, and I figured I would go ahead and wing it.
So wait, you're trying to tell us you have? Because I mean, tomorrow's going to be a big barbecue day. It's 4th of July, after all.
Okay, that's what it is? I didn't understand why all these shows were focused on one day.
Yeah, it's 4th of July.
4th of July.
Independence Day.
Like the movie.
Exactly. It's to celebrate the opening of that movie.
Can I just go ahead and say, Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, best tag team of all time. If they played basketball, they'd be better than the Pippen and the Jordan, the LeBron and the anybody else. And, Hell, I'll even say it, Isaiah, and whoever you want to pair them to.
I don't even have the energy to argue, so just go on.
Okay. So all I'm trying to say here is I've got me here a list of entrees, courses, appetizers, drinks for your whole 4th of July. That's what you said it was? 4th of July?
4th of July.
4th of July party. Can I read them off?
I'm interested to hear because I haven't figured out what I'm going to have for 4th of July. Maybe you'll spur some ideas.
This is excellent. This is just what you need then.
So lay it on me.
Let's go ahead and start with some nice common ground. What you're gonna have throughout your day, evening, night. Into the fireworks.
Wait, how do you know there's fireworks if you've never even heard of the 4th of July?
Independence Day. They have fireworks at the end of Independence Day.
Oh,
so I just figured.
I can't remember.
I have to kind of piece it all together. It's hard to remember. So just stick with me here. Let's go ahead and start with the nice water, but not just the normal water. We're going to go with the crisp cucumber water. And, cucumbers often associated with the word cool. Cool as a cucumber. And so we're going to start with some crisp cuts to add to our nice ice water. But I'm going to go ahead and help you take that to the next level. All right?
Let me hear it.
That's a little basic. We're going to take that to the end boss here. We're going to add some nice, fresh, grilled franks to that cucumber water, all right?
Wow, I've never thought about that.
I know. Hot dogs really are the cucumbers of the tubed meat world. So they're interchangeable. Cucumbers are hot dogs are cucumbers.
I never looked at it that way, but it makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. So just go ahead and slice up 2 hot dogs, perfectly grilled, of course, per 1 cucumber.
Okay, first of all, that can never happen, but you go on.
What's that?
Perfectly grilled, yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and skip over that loophole here, okay? So, people, do your best to perfectly grill a hot dog. Whatever you do, it'll be okay. You won't be able to taste the difference, but when I bring my perfectly grilled hot dog cucumber water over, you'll know the difference. Anyways, 2 perfectly grilled hot dogs per cucumber into 6 gallons of water. Boom. There you go. Crisp, delicious, perfect grilled hot dog cucumber water.
Sounds refreshing.
I know. There's so much more, though. Got a lot of alcoholics out there. Griff, you're one of them. I don't want to talk about it. Shut up. How about...
I agree, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, Murray. God, you need help, dude. Seriously. How about an alcoholic drink for the adults? We got adults here. You usually have adults around fireworks. Kids can't light off fireworks. That's correct, right?
I did when I was a kid. What are you talking about?
Oh, shit. But you have both your eyes.
Are you sure that kids can't drink?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
okay, well, kids, feel free to go ahead and enjoy these next few drinks thanks to Merman here. He said that it's okay. So, right off the bat, gin. Just drink it. Franks and gins are friends for life. Just go ahead and drink that gin. Now, for those of you who are a little bit fancier, got a little Bloody Mary mix for you here, okay? And the trick of a good Bloody Mary is to keep it simple. And I'm talking so simple that your friends are going to be like just sucking these things down, and eventually you're going to be hosting AA meetings for them because they're going to develop like real sick addictions to these bloody bastards.
You hear that, Griff?
What's up?
No, what he said.
What? About the Bloody Marys?
Go on, Hydrophil.
Okay, thanks. I don't like being interrupted, but you guys, I've got a little bit of patience for. So I'm gonna give you all. It's more details than I often like to give, but we're going to start with the Bloody Mary mix. It's just a pound of cherry tomatoes, 2 teaspoons of hot sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of tablespoons, not teaspoons, tablespoons, 2 of them of fresh lemon squeeze, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and vodka. Just go by taste. Until it tastes like alcohol, then you're good. Now, if you do really want to get fancy with it, you'll combine some of those tomatoes with your vodka ahead of time, 5 to 7, so like a week ahead of time. You get a nice tomato vodka going there, and then you mix it with the Bloody That's danger right there, because those are so good. But how do we end this? Because you can't just sip on these motherfuckers, right?
Okay, I don't know.
You
I don't
need
drink.
some-
Unlike a Griff, I don't drink.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
you need some kind of apparatus. Yeah, you really need an apparatus for those kind of drinks. Yeah. God damn, this guy needs some help.
I agree.
You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make a straw out of a perfectly grilled hot dog.
What?
Yeah.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I never thought you could use a hot dog for a straw.
And I gotta tell you, there's all these nice metal straws out there now.
Yeah, I
and they're-
know that the woman who just got her face fucked up in the
Wow.
movie we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. She had a short one. You're gonna need a little bit longer bun length because hot dogs are often bun length.
Let me ask you, this might be crazy, but
Go ahead.
Could you use one of those like twisty straws? You know what I'm talking about, the ones that like you know.
Yeah.
How about the ones that bend? Can you use that?
No, you see, hot
Okay.
dogs, they have different contours, and they're a little different. You'd have to call it in ahead. We're gonna go ahead and fashion these straws out of, normal hot dogs, the better hot dogs, the good hot dogs, the one we love and trust. I wouldn't trust a hot dog with a bend in it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there now.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get us a nice bun-length steel straw to perforate a nice little hole into our hot dog. And now it's a straw. So as you drink your Bloody Mary, you got a hot dog to munch on. Perfectly grilled hot dog to munch on. I know you don't drink, but I know Griff's going crazy. We fucking threw him in the back so he could shut up while we do this alcohol
Griff's
segment.
going through the DTs right now.
Yeah,
But he'll be
exactly.
ready for the second half of Invasion USA. Don't worry about it.
We don't need to bring him back out. I got this. But we still got a lot of I got a lot. Asparagus stuffed perfectly grilled dogs. That's right. We need to get some super nutrient-rich delights on this menu. Easily done with some asparagus and a perfectly
Let me
grilled
ask
dog.
you this.
Yes. Ask.
If you eat asparagus hot dogs, does the hot dogs counteract whatever makes your pee stink when you eat asparagus?
Absolutely. In fact, it makes it smells better.
Does it smell like a perfectly grilled hot dog?
It smells like every smell you
I prefer
attribute
pee
to.
to have no smell, but
Yeah,
I mean, if it has
but-
to smell.
I'm gonna go ahead and just put any smell you kind of contribute to summer, like that smell of a fresh fire. You get that smoke going, and you all those pleasant smells of summer.
Fire's pleasant smell.
You don't like that? Like you sit
Well,
around
like
a fire
that.
and
Oh, okay. I don't know.
you got that camping
Okay.
kind of mood going on. Yeah, that's what it'll remind you of that. So you'll just be like, oh shit, it just smells kind of good here. No, it's lost on you. It's lost on you. You don't get anything. I'm beginning to think that I shouldn't come here anymore. Let's move on to the next item. So we've done our asparagus. We're going to keep it into kind of the veg world here and go with some corn.
This is interesting. It's like vegetarian meat. It's like you this is the perfect vegetarian meal for a carnivore.
Yeah. Look, I want to help people kind of bridge that gap between carnivorous and the other one that I can't think off the top of my head, herbivores.
Herbivore, yeah. You want to be an omnivore.
Yeah. I want people to realize that, sure, the other side's okay. You just gotta.
Are you saying because every group of friends usually has the one irritating vegetarian friend that won't eat anything? Are you saying these recipes will get a vegetarian to eat a grilled hot dog?
Well, sometimes those fuckers can be real stubborn. I think they should eat some of these hot dogs. But you know what?
They're veggie dogs? That a thing?
There certainly is.
What do you feel about? How do you feel about that?
You know what? They grill a little differently, but don't worry, I've already perfected them too. I can help
It's all
you
in
out.
the grill. So
it's all in the fill, not the grill.
I see what
you see what I did there? Because some people don't figure out their grill. I can immediately look at a grill and figure it out and grill a hot dog to perfection on it.
So I hear.
So
Yet to see, but so I hear.
Hey, I'm not about to show my work in front of you. I'm a grower, not a shower. So let's go ahead and get into the next thing here, unless you got something else to say.
I'm
no,
all ears.
You're all
no,
ears?
Sorry.
You're going to like this one, because you look like a fan of a Lotus.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is. So let me go ahead. It's a Mexican street corn, usually found with some nice grilled corn in husk. Then they peel back the husk to make a handle. Then you smear it up with some spices and some mayonnaise. You know what? Mayonnaise right up there with the devil's condiments. So we're going to go ahead and just fix that right now. I don't care for the mayo. Then again, I already said it's right up there with the devil's condiments. It's also right up there with the demons of Tartarus. That being the case, we're going to filly up this cob with some franks and sriracha into a delicious chutney. So basically what that means is I'm going to go ahead and take a perfectly grilled dog, mix in some chutney, maybe a little cumin, salt, pepper, dash of lime. We got ourselves a nice mayo-like consistency paste. Apply it right to that corn. You okay with that?
Sounds delicious.
So we're talking like a grilled frank per quarter cup of sriracha, blend with some cilantro maybe, and bam, you'll be the Bob of the Cob. It's a fun play of words there if you didn't get that. Bob of the Cob.
I didn't, but
no?
continue.
Okay. I imagine some Bobs will be making these cobs, so I was just having some fun. But, fuck it. Let's talk entrees. Ribs.
Let me guess. Is grilled hot dog going to be involved?
Fuck you. Let's get to it. Ribs. We're going to start with some baby back babies. All right? You like baby back ribs?
Sure. I love them.
Of course you do. So, no rib would be complete without a nice hot dog rub. That's right. There's a way to make a rub out of perfectly grilled hot dogs. Mainly, and yeah, go ahead. Let your imagination run wild here. It's just
I am.
It's
Hold
just,
on. Okay, I let my imagination run.
Okay.
You continue.
It's just a perfectly grilled hot dog, and you grate it. Okay? You mix it in with maybe a little brown sugar and a little cumin and then maybe a little paprika, and then you just rub it on the ribs. But there's actually going to be a hydrophil patented rub hot dog mix coming to stores. I'm trying to work into that market a little bit more. I'm open to investors if they want to talk to me about that.
I don't know about that, but once you figure all that out, we'll be happy to sell it on our popular podcast.
Oh yeah, is that so?
Yeah.
Hey guys, yeah, you got my number, so go ahead and get a hold of me.
No, we don't. You told us you don't have a house.
Yeah, you're right. I know, and I have the grill I sleep on, so you know where to find me.
Not really, no.
No, okay. I'll stop by maybe sometime, and then you can tell me about the ideas, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's great. So, barbecue sauce, not needed with these ribs, but feel free to apply some of whatever the fuck you like to ruin it, because once you apply the hot dog rub, you're complete. So, next, what are we going to need? We're going to need some sweet peppers, onions, pineapples. Well, where is this going? Well, I'll tell you. Kebabs. No summer grill is complete without kebabs. I don't know why I said different in those two different iterations, but deal with it. These babies will go as follows. Dog. Sweet pepper. Dog. Pineapple. Dog. Onion. And repeat. These are great kebabs. Just grill them up to perfection. Again, doesn't matter if you can't hit the correct mark or not. You'll it's like hand grenades, except it's not. You'll be bad at it, but your friends won't know from right from wrong. So from there, perfectly grilled hot dogs on a bun. I know you shouted this out earlier, but of course it's an essential.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get some of those, steam the bun, grill the bun, dip the bun in water. It won't make a difference. Once you perfectly grill these bad boys, it won't matter, especially when your guests are all drunk off the Bloody Marys and the gin. It won't matter. You can blow off an appendage or two. It still won't matter. Congratulations, country. You're a year older. It won't matter. And then dessert. Well, shit. There's simply no time. But wait. I got in touch with somebody at the Merman Industries a little while back.
Really?
Yeah.
Griff, did you talk to Hydra Phil about something? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, shit. The other day I was talking to him, and I was upset because I still haven't received any gravy pops. And he was like, "Gravy pops? What are gravy pops?"
Gravy pops.
It's
are
funny.
The greatest. Thirst quencher. I don't know what you want to call it. That's all I've been eating. It's been hot as shit out here for the past week. I've been living off gravy pops. What are you talking about? What are gravy pops?
It's funny that you mentioned gravy pops because they gave me a whole pitch about how these are pops designed from the gravy drippings of delicious, edible, mostly amazing meats.
Beef, chicken, pork, and mystery meat.
Dude, and those are usually the combinations that make hot dogs that I grill into perfectly grilled hot dogs. So when I heard about this, I said, is there room in that gravy popsicle world for maybe a hot dog shaped hot dog gravy pop? And they said, yes, there is, sir. So I would go ahead and get to your stores now because this is a limited time offer. But for sure as fuck's sake, hot dog flavored gravy pops are out there.
Hey, Griff, did I tell you, speaking of gravy pops, Griff, did I tell you I tried the mystery meat one?
What did you think of it?
It was great.
Yeah?
Well, it's possum. I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what it is.
I like that you know possum from
I'm just assuming. I don't know.
You
I've
assume.
never had a possum, but I assume it had possum-like things.
I still haven't gotten one, so I'm upset.
Phil, I don't want to, like,
Yeah,
barge in on your thing, but I want to make a suggestion to
What's
add
up?
to something I called whores. Hot dog s'mores. How about that, Griff?
Holy
I mean,
fuck.
Griff, Phil.
Yeah, don't address Griff when you're talking to me. That's really upsetting. I like the sound of this. What? I mean, are you talking the traditional? Because I'm allergic to mallow.
Well, then you can't have these because that's part.
That's
of
a part of it.
It's graham cracker. It's the same as a s'more, but better. Graham cracker, marshmallow, chocolate, grilled hot dog.
Oh, you're just adding that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think we can run with that. Of course, I can't eat it because of the mallow deficiency, but I usually replace the mallow with just a piece of chalk. That's good to me.
Well, okay.
Maybe that's for other people, because like the kids nowadays, they have all kinds of allergies. Maybe they have a mallow allergy and they can replace it with the chalk.
I guess. I've never heard of a mallow allergy, but I guess it's possible. Kids are allergic to everything nowadays. So.
It's true. So, those are, look, just make 5 of those courses, and I assure you, your fourth will go through, like, some kind of hot cake through an IHOP. Oh, wait, they don't do pancakes anymore. They do burgers. So it'll go through like an egg through a Denny's, served to fried, overcooked perfection. You'll do okay. Just trust me. I gotta get the fuck out of here. What are you guys gonna do the rest of the podcast? Do you need to lean on me? Do you need me to do more recipes?
No, we don't need you anymore.
Phil, just leave. Just get out of here. Murray, goddamn, where did we leave off?
We've left off.
We got through a nightmare, right? We got to get to.
No. They're way past that.
We got past
Chuck's
that.
house has been blown up. So now it's time. So he agrees to meet with the CIA guy, like at a hot dog stand.
Oh yeah, the hot dog stand.
And he does the classic line, "All right, I'm back in, but I work alone."
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the guy comes back with, well, if you get caught, you're on your own. We can't be held responsible for anything you do.
Come on, bitch. Chuck's already said that.
He's cool with that.
And, of course, we're going to go ahead and cut back to the villains who are now, and I believe this is right, shoring up. They're invading the beach.
Yeah, well, it starts out, it's kind of reminiscent of Jaws. There's this couple, they're rocking out of the water. They got a little, like, mini TV playing.
Yeah, it's nighttime. It's just a couple out there by themselves, and they're coming out of the water, and they're about to fuck.
But since this is a Chuck Norris movie, we're not going to have any sex in it.
Right.
Notice that Chuck doesn't have a lot of nudity in
It's
his
true,
movies.
you're right. Alluding to sex, but no sex.
Yeah, so then the perv Nico, Rostov's henchman, his right-hand man, shows up. Goes, hey, I'm just going to kill you guys. So he kills them.
Yeah, and his gun had way more scoping than it needed to.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the 80s. I think Snake Plissken started it. It was like every handgun had a scope on it for some reason.
It had...
I was shocked there wasn't a laser scope, because after Terminator, every gun had a laser scope.
That's right. At least it didn't have that. So the poor kids who are about to fuck on the beach just get murdered. And then these swarms of...
Well, Nico has a little funny moment. He's watching a little comedy on the TV they had there.
Oh, yeah,
he chuckles a little.
Yeah, he does.
And then something... I got to believe Spielberg stole this, because this is straight out of Saving Private Ryan. These, like, boats, like the boats of Private Ryan, just show up. And they open up, and all these fucking commies come out. There's Cubans, there's Chinese, there's North Koreans, there's Russians. They're all united, ready to take on America.
And then, of course, Nico says to... because Rostov is there, and Nico says to him...
I don't think Nico says, Rostov says it.
Yeah, I said Rostov. Nico said, like...
Rostov says to Nico... In 18 hours, America will be a different place. And goddamn was he right.
I just love that. They're like, our plan is so goddamn good.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of this movie. It's like he's kind of the Bin Laden of the group. Like, he's the head of the snake. And Matt knows if you chop off the head of the snake dies.
Yeah.
So that's the plan is he wants to get Rostov so bad. He's like, I don't care about these underlings. I don't get me fucking Rostov. And we were talking about this earlier. Most movies, including Hero and the Terror, the hero is the one who's like haunted by like the past and all that shit. In this one, Matt is so far into Rostov's head.
Yeah.
Rostov cannot fucking function.
Chuck is the one who completely secluded himself from like any norms of life and society. He went out to the weird shack in the Everglades, while apparently Rostov went to a normal life. So he is haunted as fuck. That's why we got the nightmare scene we described earlier. That's why Rostov is hellbent on like, we cannot do anything until Hunter is gone.
And once again, Nico's like, who fucking cares about Manhunter? He's just one guy. He's not one guy!
So, we're going to get the cops, of course, checking the beach. This is where we get, like, a minor character who looks like she's going to play a bigger part in the
this is Marissa McGuire.
Yeah, she's like a photographer.
She's basically like a poor man's Lois Lane. She's like sassy, She's like a photojournalist.
They don't give her, like, any time. She has about as much time as there is lines in this movie. So, she kind of pops up. Hey, the press has the right to take a picture of this. And, Chuck, she notices Chuck. She's like, hey, cowboy, come here. Give me an interview. But Chuck blows her off, and he's just like, Rostov, I got to get him.
Can we also point out, I don't think Chuck is never out of denim in this entire movie. He's wearing constant denim.
Jeans and cut off. No, I think it was just like rolled up.
Yeah,
but
rolled up sleeves.
It was just like he wouldn't button any of the buttons on the front, so it was like deep V. So after we get that beach scene, we get probably one of, if not the greatest Golan-Globus scene.
Wow, the highlight of the movie for me.
Ever filmed and worth watching. If not for the history, just for the spectacular.
Yeah, because, I mean, even though we're touting this as a great American movie for Independence Day, this is at heart a Christmas movie.
Apparently.
So, well, yeah, because what happens is Rostov just rolls up in a neighborhood, and he doesn't care where it is. And so we have this scene. I pointed out to Griff, he says it's totally normal for kids to be playing, like, throwing the football around at, like, midnight.
I used to play ball all night long, dude.
And there's, like, this a teenage couple, like, getting ready to fuck inside of a car, like, right in front of everybody. And there's these families, I guess, and this must be a Florida thing. You don't decorate the tree in your house, you decorate the tree in your front yard.
Yeah.
So they're hanging up all these ornaments. It's just beautiful. It's just all America. That's what America's about. Little girl, she's like, wait, I got to get back up with the star on the top. Rostov's just maniacally looking.
Yeah. him and like Nico pull up, and they're just like, ugh, they make it so easy. It's like, what do they make so easy? They're living their life, and you're pulling up. What are you trying to do?
Because they're not prepared. Okay?
No. Why would you be?
All I have to say is, if that little girl was armed, I don't think this scene would have happened. That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
Okay? So what does happen is Nico whips out the old bazooka, and then Rostov's like, no, give it to me. I'm going to do it.
Yup.
And then Rostov commences to just blow this fucking whole neighborhood up. And I want to point out, it's a real neighborhood got blown up in this movie. There's no CGI bullshit in here. Houses are getting exploded.
Yes.
And I'm loving it.
It was a neighborhood that was under demolition for whatever reason, and Golan-Globus, being the people they were, figured it out and were like, hey, can we blow it up? And they were like, fuck yeah. So all these cool scenes of just like shots of houses being exploded, those were legit houses people lived in that they got to blow up.
That was great.
So,
and just to let you know, the little girl somehow lit. I don't know how the fuck she survived. She goes in the house, and the house is blown up.
Well, her and the armadillo are kind of like E.T., so they're like a kin, you know?
Okay,
so armadillo survives, E.T. survives, you know. So they survive. Don't worry about it.
So then Ross is like, let's get the fuck out of here. Take off.
We're seeing the reign of terror on America at this point. And it's not
at least Florida. I don't know why the rest of America falls apart,
it's just Florida. It's just Florida. The rest of America's got their shit together. Florida, however, is a mess. So
more things change, the more they stay the same.
After we get the neighborhood blowing up, we get over to, just a nice party.
Yeah.
And some kids having a good time.
Cholos. Our buddy Mike's probably there.
And, the cops pull up, and the kid very respectfully says, oh, what is it now?
He didn't say respectfully at all. He's like, what are you doing? You going to mess with us again? He's not respectful. Come on.
That was like a sass, but it was still like...
They're annoyed. They're rightfully annoyed because they'll probably get harassed by the cops all the time.
Yeah, but it wasn't... Okay.
And they weren't doing anything wrong. They were just having a party. No. McGuire's there for some fucking reason, taking pictures.
Right. Yeah, why was she
She just had this knack. She's a perfect reporter. She has a knack for being in the right place at the right time.
That was the weirdest part of that whole scene. But these kids are just innocently having a good time, listening to music. Maybe the cops come by to say, like, hey, can you turn down your neighbors or a little...
Well, that's what they're thinking is going to happen.
Yeah.
But, no. So there's like an Asian cop, and then there's a cop that reminded me of Fandango, the wrestler, where he's in his fashion police outfit. He looked kind of like him.
Yeah.
And they're wearing the mirrored shades. And they're not talking, they're being real creepy. And they just start shooting the fuck out of these people. Do they have Uzis?
No, I think at that point they used shotguns for that.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really mowing people down. And of course the one guy is trigger happy, so his buddy's gotta be like, Hey, we gotta leave some bystanders here. We gotta leave some people to tell the tale.
So, another brilliant ploy by Rostov. He makes you not trust the people you need to trust the most, the police, because right after it, the real police roll up.
Yup.
And instead of being glad, of course, they're like...
The community...
They're throwing rocks and shit at the cops.
Yes, and there's like a scene right after where it's like the community is now rioting against the Miami police, because that's what they were posed as. So, we got this buildup of tension now, and we're just going to go ahead and cut to Chuck. What's Chuck doing? He's trading in his goddamn airboat. Fan boat. And what is he going to get? The most American fucking thing of all. goddamn pickup truck.
Yeah, John Eagle's pickup truck.
Oh, that was John Eagle's
Yeah,
truck?
it was, yeah.
Oh, I didn't gather that.
Yeah.
So he's got to pick up his truck. He's got to cruise. He's going to be going through these shady bars because he's got a contact he wants to find. But, of course, like, as he's cruising through, like, the shady town, you got all those people, like, eyeing him down, and he's just very chill.
It's like
just,
the most cliche, like, the black pimp, and it's a super cliche.
It's bad. It really
and,
is.
And then there's
Prostitutes
bikers and all this shit. And
whipping chains across his windshield. Of course,
why didn't he do anything?
No, he doesn't budge at all. Doesn't flinch. Doesn't blink an eye. He's just like. I wish there was an inner monologue for that scene. That's too much writing for these guys, clearly. But
and you know what? He'd just be him saying, "It's time to die," and it's sad.
It's time to die.
So he shows up at probably the saddest strip club I've ever seen, and I've been to a lot of them, guys. And like and he finds his buddy of his. The guy's saved in South America, so he owes him.
Yeah, he owes him.
So his buddy, I don't even think he gives him any useful information. He's just like, what does he say? Like Rostev's in town or something?
Yeah, and the guy was just like,
oh no, this is what he says. He says, one of Rostev's like underlings is at the King Cobra Club.
Oh yeah. Because he does get something from him.
And then he says, "What with this great line? What's he say, Griff?"
Shit.
I'll play. You're gonna play Chuck Norris. I'll play the role of his like greaseball friend. So you're walking. I give you information. You just don't even fucking thank me. Just walk out.
Yeah.
And I go, see you in hell.
I'll send you a postcard. Man. Chuck, we dogged him so hard in Hero and the Terror, but in this movie, his absence of talking with the one-liners,
his absence of emotion,
his absence of everything, aside from murderous rage and one-liners, actually works really well.
It does. I'm
and
surprised. There's
a big interrogation scene that I wasn't sure had as much impact on my life as it did, but we'll get there in a second because now he's going to go ahead and find his first perp.
I rolls up to the King Cobra Club.
Yep.
And so Rostev's underling. He's like, hey, I got some time. I'm gonna go fuck a prostitute.
Yeah, he's gonna get himself prostitutes.
So he goes to the second saddest strip club in Miami.
Exactly.
And he goes up. He picks like somebody's grandma. Like I don't know what was going on.
It was rough for somebody who's affiliated with some kind of like organization that's basically planning to take over America. To pick the lady he picked, who was like 30 years his senior, I was like, that's an interesting choice.
It's very inclusive.
Exactly.
Non-judgmental.
Exactly. Takes her up to the room. He's got a bandage on on his hand. She touches the bandage.
Why did they ever mention why he had the bandage?
No, not at all.
Well, then there's a great scene when Chuck rolls in. Then this biker dude's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I'm just looking around.
Yeah.
No, you either do something or get the fuck out. So then the guy's holding the beer bottle, so Chuck grabs his hand and just crushes his hand with the beer bottle.
That was before he meets the contacts.
Was it? Was it that bar? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was at one of the bars.
This strip club, it's he's completely ninjutsu. He's not seen or heard. But you're right. He does do that, and that is worth mentioning because that was brutal as shit.
Right.
Hey, what are you doing? And he's just like, can you say that one more time? I didn't quite get it. And then he starts to say it again. He crunches his hand. He's like, oh, no. I got it.
And the guy does nothing.
And of course, he's just like... So, but in this scene, it was like the stripper and the strip club
prostitute
dude.
And the underling.
And the underling. Yeah, he's got the bandaged hand. She touches it. He's like... Ugh!
Oh, yeah, I know you're
Don't touch my hand. And, of course, he sits down, and she's back on the bed. So there's good... They had to create separation, so the hand served as that. And so he sits down for a second, and he's just like, just take off your clothes. And he starts, like, unbuttoning his shirt, but he put his hand out on the table, the bandaged hand.
Right.
And you just knife through the hand.
And who is it? It's Chuck, of course.
Of course it's Chuck.
And then these guys, just like one big muscle dude and this other like out of shape guy come in, think they're gonna fuck up Chuck. Chuck kicks the muscle guy in the chest, and the guy collapses.
He's just like, get out of here. And so the guy just like
he
scatters.
Goes, you're really starting to irritate me.
Yeah. The guy just scatters. And so he gets a minute alone with the underling, and and he starts like interrogating him, and the guy's not talking, so he's like, and this is a line that's lived with me for my whole life. I'm gonna hit you with so many lefts, you're gonna be begging for a right.
You fucked it up a little. I hit you with so many rights, you're gonna be begging for a left. So you kind of got it right.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to be begging for a left. Yeah, you're right. So, of course, another guy's going to storm into the room, another big guy, and Chuck's just going to pull the pin on a grenade and hand it to the
I
underling.
didn't get that at all. I don't know what was the point of that.
Just to put out the point that I'm fucking insane. Don't fuck with me. I'm Chuck Norris. I'll apparently hit you with so many rights, you're going to be begging for a left.
Yeah, because, I mean, the guy could have just thrown the grenade. I don't know what the point was. Like, if he tied his hand to a grenade or something, I go, okay. I don't know.
He ended up throwing it out the window.
Yeah, he throws it out the window and it hits the muscle guy's car that they were washing earlier.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, my God. A little comic relief, little
I don't even remember what information he gets out of that.
I don't either. I don't think he got any information.
Oh, no, but before he does give that grenade, he does tell the underling, tell Rostov.
If you survive,
it's time to die.
Call back.
So we're going to go ahead and just cut right back to our villains and figure out what they're up to. And they're plotting out a whole new scheme. And they've got like a third underling in the mix now. And it's just this...
Well, yeah, there's a scene where Rostov, Nico, and this other underling are like talking about a plan for what they're going to do.
Yep.
And I just have to point this out. It's not really important, but they're ordering drinks. One guy gets, I don't know, like a margarita. Of course, Rostov, Russian fuck that he is, has to get vodka.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a nice vodka, and then he hands him this package. And then we cut to a scene at the mall. Christmas time. Everybody's happy. Little shithead little kid throws... What, am I ahead of myself?
Yeah, no, you're fine. I mean,
Okay.
they hand the one guy, like, a clearly, like, gift bag, and then it cuts to the mall.
Right.
So you know the villains are doing something at the mall. That's all.
So there's this shithead little kid who... There's a lot of gum throwing in this
there is.
Yes, there's at least two scenes.
You get the cop, like, staring down the kid.
So the kid... Because he's a little shithead.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the kid who beat me in the Chuck Norris
the costume
Halloween
contest.
Fucking,
yeah.
I hope you die, you little shit. So he throws the thing at the hood of this Nissan truck that's... It looks like shit, actually. It was a shitty truck.
It was really shitty.
And the cop's like, hey, you young man, and then goes chasing the kid. And then we see that guy we saw earlier with a package. He's got this bag with these presents in it.
Yep.
They're not presents. It's a bomb.
And, of course, some good citizens like, hey, you left your bag here. And, of course, this is why at the TSA, at the airports, they say never leave. If you see somebody leave their bag unaccompanied, like,
I heard the TSA
report
use
it.
this movie to, like, learn what not
to
do.
The TSA found out about this movie and they learned from it. This is why I'm worried that this movie could get into the wrong hands.
Watch this movie. ISIS, don't watch
TSA already watched this movie is my point.
Yeah.
They learned and they've taken valuable lessons. We need the terrorists not to watch it. Because next thing you know, they've already taken over the police, and who knows what else they could take over.
I happen to know that terrorists hate this podcast, so we have nothing to worry about.
That's
ourselves.
good. That's good.
So my favorite part is it got to the point a cop is chasing this guy, but the guy's still like, sir, your package. It's like, all right, there's something up, all right?
Chasing him down.
And then, so he's about to escape, or is he? Because then at this moment, Chuck just, who gives a fuck that we're in a mall full of people? Chuck drives his pickup truck right through the mall.
Yup.
And just starts killing everyone left and right. And this is where he unveils the greatest invention of all time. He's got these little straps set up so he can hold his Uzis.
Yep.
They're not like a holster. It's like a thing around his shoulders, and it holds them so he can like drop them, but not drop them on the ground, and kick some ass and then pick them back up.
Yeah, so they're at like waist level, and he can kind of like they're just on almost buttons, so they can point down or it can rotate them or do whatever he seems to want. But yeah, it's perfect for if you need to roundhouse somebody, you need to straight kick them. It's perfect for doing your normal karate or if you need to shoot the shit out of somebody, which he does a lot of in this movie.
Well, he just goes on a murder spree with these Uzis. He just kills only the bad guys.
Only bad guys. He does not hit a single innocent person. And he's driving a truck around like a madman, and he still does not hit
somehow
anybody not deserve it. He hits the kid, but the kid deserved it
yes,
for the gum,
kid
right?
Deserved it, right?
Yeah. So you get to see a nice. The truck spins its wheel on the kid's expired corpse.
Yeah, his head explodes like a watermelon.
It's rough, but you know what? He deserved it.
Yeah. So while he's dealing with these random henchmen, the original guy who had the package, jumps in the Nissan and takes the fuck off.
Right.
And he hits everybody because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. So of course now we're going to be taking this. It's a high-speed chase out to the roads.
Well, he drives out. And then he immediately hits somebody's car. So this woman's like, "Hey, you! What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
So thankfully, McGuire just happened to be in the area. So she pulls up in her convertible.
Yeah.
Right at the right nick of time. So the bad guys grab the woman who's bitching about her car and just take off. And she's hanging out the side of the car. She's there's a side rail. She's standing on that, and they're holding her. I still don't know why they're doing this. And Chuck conveniently sees McGuire, jumps in her car, says, "Let's go," and she's like, "Hey, stop!" But then
gotta give some kind of purpose to McGuire.
Yeah,
so why not?
Yeah. So there's a high speed, low speed chase,
right?
Where nothing really much happens.
No, it really is pretty pointless.
I mean, there's a scene where this is where McGuire could have made more sense. They took I don't know why they took the woman hostage. You should have took McGuire hostage, because what they do is. They drive up. They're going back, but they're trying to grab the woman because the guy's holding her on the side of the car.
Yeah.
And they finally grab her and get her in the convertible.
Yes.
And then Chuck comes. I forget. Did Chuck throw a grenade in, or is the guy got a grenade and he drops it? Because there's a grenade in the Nissan truck.
Oh, I don't remember. I think he drops it.
I think the bad guy. I think you're right. The bad guy drops it in the floorboards.
Yeah, I think Chuck's awesomeness with the Uzis and the deep V button up just get to him, and he just drops the grenade. He just can't do it.
So boom, guy explodes. We're all happy. A baseball team almost got shot up in the high speed chase.
Was it football?
It's baseball.
It was baseball?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And so what next?
I mean, of course, after all that action, we can't figure out what they do next because we got to cut back over to the fucking villains. And
right.
Rostov is pissed. I don't remember what he's pissed about, but someone's basically
pissed off because he knows Matt Hunter is the if you get rid of him, we take over America.
Essentially, this is his plan.
America is powerless. Who cares about the Army? Who cares about the Marines? Matt Hunter is protecting America single-handedly.
This is what kind of makes me afraid if our White House gets this movie, is they're going to go, wait, Chuck Norris is still alive. Let's just go ahead and put him in Florida.
It's funny.
There we go.
It's funny you say that. I never felt more secure with that.
Really?
Chuck Norris, yeah.
You feel good about Chuck Norris securing our borders?
I just watched a movie where he kicks all kinds of terrorists' ass. Are you saying it's not real? He couldn't do that in real life?
I'm going to alert you to some bad news. They don't make that model of gun anymore, and
they don't make Uzis anymore?
There's no more Nissan trucks.
Oh, I don't care about that. That got blown up. The Nissan got blown up.
What was his truck?
I'm sure it was American.
They don't make those trucks anymore. I'm trying to scare you here. I'm trying to go all...
it's not working.
Are you afraid of the dark? Woo! Chuck doesn't have his normal peripherals.
Is that like your campfire story?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So...
Yeah, so Rostov...
We got our villain. He's all pissed off because, we got to get him.
Because Matt is in his head, man.
Yeah.
He's playing fucking 4D chess with this motherfucker.
It really is. That was the kind of
coming unglued. Nico sees it. Nico's getting worried because he's like, fuck, we need Rostov. We're nothing without Rostov.
Exactly. And he's trying to keep Rostov on a clear path to America, and Rostov's just like, no, Hunter.
Well, before that, he does the classic Rostov dick shot where he shoots the underling in the dick that we saw earlier.
He just grabs the one guy. He's pissed off at him like, fuck, you failed. So he grabs
him. Why does he grab him? Why does he shoot him? Because he goes, he told me if I survive, it's time to die.
Does he?
Yes. And so then Rostov just snaps and just shoots his dick off, and which probably makes makes the hand hurt a little less. You're like, my dick's missing.
Right.
So he helped him in a way. And then Nico's just trying to calm him down. He's like, dude, calm the fuck down. We're winning.
I love when he shoots that guy, though, because it's like a 5-second clip of him grabbing the guy by the belt buckle, sticking his gun down his pants, shooting him in the dick 5 times, and also hawking the hugest loogie in his face.
I don't remember that.
Dude, it's a huge lug. It was amazing. Like, it's hard to... We could have read this movie and already been done with it by the script and been done talking about it.
Our podcast is longer than the script.
It really is. It's embarrassingly short.
I don't know. I think the less lines you give Chuck, the better he is. So.
Exactly. No, that's the point. Chuck and his brother knew how to portray Chuck.
They knew his strengths. They knew his weaknesses.
And so this movie is 80% action. I think I said 90% earlier. I'm dropping it down to 80. It was great. So
then we see that not only are they posing as police officers, they're posing as National Guardsmen.
They've taken over the Miami Police and the National Guard, who's moved into Miami.
So this time, Chuck is just patrolling, and this is one thing. Martial law has basically been put enacted because of where Rostov's going. So there's National Guards everywhere, but that's not going to stop good Americans from going to church. So, like, in the middle of the night, once again, this nice, wholesome family are sneaking. They're not supposed to be out. It's supposed to be curfew. But they're like, God damn it, I love God so much, I'm going to go to goddamn church.
Yeah, you're right.
So, of course, Rostov's like, religion, you Christian scum. So his next plan is to blow up a church.
Yeah.
So they got this nice little suitcase full of C4. They put it in front of the church door. They got they reel it out.
Yep.
Click the button. Nothing happens. They're like, what the fuck, man?
Chuck, on the roof, intercepted the line. I don't even know how he did it. That was like...
ninjutsu, dude.
How we grabbed the line and pulled it up to the fucking roof of that building?
He used ninjutsu. He used the Samurai 6 Sense.
The Samurai 6 Sense didn't do that?
Yes.
Fuck,
You learned nothing from American Samurai?
I didn't know
Our
it
last
could do that
episode,
much.
go listen to it if you haven't heard it. Yeah, so they're like... They look up, Chuck's standing on top of the roof. He's like, doesn't work. Works now. And then just drops the bomb on them.
He clicks the little lines together, you get the spark.
Boom, son. They get blown the fuck up.
Chuck wins again.
Or does he? Because as he's patrolling, he gets pulled over by some National Guardsmen.
Yep.
And he's like, because of course Chuck's a good American. He's like, I'll stop for a National Guardsman. I'm not gonna suspect anything. But we suspect something because it's that same Asian guy that we saw earlier who was a cop.
So he happens to be on his way. It went from nighttime to daytime in between this transition of him driving and meeting the National Guard. I think when he meets the National Guard, it's nighttime though for some reason.
Yes, it's nighttime.
It might have been before the church scene or after. I think it was before.
I don't know. I don't think it's that important, but
it's not at all.
I forget.
It was just,
how does he? Oh, he just beats him on the draw, right? He doesn't know that guy is the National Guard.
He eyes the guy. Yeah, so when he's in his truck, the
Samurai 6 Sense kicked in.
The National Guard stops him, and it was like an Asian man.
It was the same Asian guy from earlier, the cop.
Oh, okay. It was that guy.
So we know that as the audience. He doesn't know that.
Oh, okay. I didn't gather that. Good job. Good samurai sense there. So, of course, Chuck doesn't know, but he's got the Samurai 6 Sense, so he beats the guard to the draw.
Yeah, because he's like, let me get my ID.
Yeah.
And Chuck grabs the Uzi.
Yep.
Boom.
And he steps out, and he's just like, hey, who you working for? Where's he at? Where can I get? He's getting information. Of course, that guy's not talking, so you see Chuck do a couple of those where he swipes the Uzi, where he sprays bullets across the guy's safety belt line. And then, of course, there's another guy just completely frightened at that point.
Right.
Yes, of course I'll talk, Mr. Norris, Mr. Hunter. So
I forget. What did he tell
I don't even remember. It's fucking pointless. Like, details don't matter in this movie because they're just going to cut to the villain and then cut to Chuck.
So, basically, so we're just getting a bunch of scenes of the world being terrorized and Chuck stopping it.
Chuck, like, one step behind, but getting closer, closer, and closer. And so this...
What happens first, the grocery store or the bus?
The grocery store.
Okay.
So the grocery store happens now.
Grocery store, they announced, it's gotten so bad we're rationing now.
And you brought it up like Bernie, like the philosophies of this movie is like a Bernie-like, and then, you know, are almost Trump-like figures. But there's actually a Bernie-looking guy in this movie, and he's the grocery store clerk telling people, we don't have any more fresh meat.
Of course, McGuire's there because she's everywhere when we need her to be there.
We've got plenty of gravy pops, but no more fresh meats.
So apparently that needs to be recorded and photographed. So McGuire's there doing her job. Well, who else is doing their job? Motherfucking Chuck. Because Nico, that scumbag henchman in Rostov, shows up.
Yeah.
Disguised the National Guardsman. To start shooting people. Takes McGuire hostage.
Yep. I don't remember how, but Chuck ends up behind him.
He does a ninjutsu move.
He does a ninjutsu move. And so he shows up behind him, and of course Nico's got that beautiful scoped, unnecessarily scoped gun. No laser, mind you. Thanks for pointing that out.
Right.
And uses it, and he just re-aims it because he's got it pointed at the girl's head. He re-aims it so it points at Nico's head and just fucking fires it. So Nico's dead. And of course the girl's like, you could have killed me.
Right, totally ungrateful. She's like, hey, cowboy.
That was the majority of that scene.
And no, and then she also throws a garbage can lid at him.
Yep. Chuck's walking away.
And Chuck doesn't even acknowledge it.
Chuck's walking away. Got to get back in my truck and continue on my rampage. And she's, you could have killed me, fucking cowboy. And then she throws the trash can at him.
And he doesn't even acknowledge the trash can lid. He just gets in the truck and it moves on. And thank God he does, because now we move to some children being thrown on a bus. I don't know if they're just being taken to school or they're being taken somewhere safe. I don't know what's going on.
They're supposed to be going somewhere safe. The parents, because the city's being invaded, the parents are like, get out of here, go somewhere safe. And of course, they're putting their kids in the arms of danger. But I want to talk about that fucking scene where they're putting the kids on the bus. Way too long. I awkwardly watch parents wave to their kids for 5 minutes. That doesn't happen. They're seriously standing there waving.
Well, it doesn't happen when you're not in the midst of being invaded. I mean, you want to cherish every moment when you're...
Sure,
you
whatever.
might lose your kid.
I'll take your...
And if it wasn't for Matt, we would have lost our kids, because while the kids are on the bus singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat...
Of course.
We've got those scumbag commies driving up, little C4, little timer on it, stick it right on the side of the bus, take the fuck off.
They're true fucking terrorists to go after the kids like that.
They have no honor.
Like, their tactics,
If you think they'd work for the Yakuza, they have no honor at all.
No. Good call. Yakuza. No. So, of course, now we've got a high-speed chase. Chuck's already on. He already knows. He saw it somehow. 6 Samurai Sense. Chuck saw that. They placed the bomb.
I think his samurai sense was tingling. And he was just like,
so he's like, I got to jump onto I-75, whatever's in Florida there, is cruising up, sees the bomb on the bus.
And I will say, I give it up to him, even though in the midst of all this shit, road construction is still going on. They don't stop for that. They're like, hey, we've got a pothole, we're going to fill it. So there's like a roadblock.
Yeah.
Chuck gets around it, drives up, grabs the bomb off the bus, drives up to the bad guys, tosses it in their car, and I forget, what does he say? Like, you lose this, as he says, you lose this.
Yeah.
And they go, and then they blow up.
He grabs the bomb off the bus, he drives up, gets right up to the car, and he just goes, you guys lose this? Tosses it, or no, he sets it on the hood because it's like got a stick or whatever magnetic mechanism to it. Sticks it on the hood, powers forward, and the people blow up.
So, Chuck has done amazing things. Well, you got to realize Chuck is only one man. So we have this scene where Chuck stops at a carnival. It's been blown the fuck up.
Okay.
He's like, he admits himself, I'm only one man. What can I do?
He can only do so much.
I can only be at one place at a time.
He needs help. But he's already shoot off everybody, so...
Well, the old CIA guy pops up there, and he's like... Chuck's like, hands him this paper, and he's like, just do this. What's the CIA guy say back to him?
He's like, I can't... there's too much. Goddamn, stall for a minute. Keep
So
stalling.
Chuck, he's just haunted.
Do you realize what kind of cooperation this will take? Think of the risks.
Wasn't there something about stakes too?
Think of the stakes. I'll just do it. Think of the risks. Think of the stakes. So, oh, you dropped your drink?
Yeah, it didn't spill.
Oh, that's okay. It didn't spill. Everyone's good here. So we're gonna go ahead and think about the risks and think about the stakes. So
So now we set up another great split screen scene where we see Rostev's point of view and we see Hunter's point of view. They're both holed up in these shitty ass hotels. Rostev's watching a bunch of TVs. He's got 3 TVs set up. Hunter, he's watching 1 TV because that's all he needs. He's watching a shitty sci-fi movie. And this is where there's another gum scene where
a shitty invasion movie.
Oh, that's right.
Aliens were invading the USA.
Wow, that's like meta, dude.
Yep.
So, and he's just chilling. He's wearing like a vest with no shirt on, and for some reason he puts his wad of gum on a hotel painting.
Yep.
Totally disrespectful. But we let him go because he saved so many people.
That's true.
So, the way they film it is like, then you start seeing these like riot gear type SWAT team guys, and you're like, oh shit, Chuck finally found out where Rostev is, and he sent the SWAT team after him. Oh no, that's not what happens. What happens is the SWAT team shows up and arrests Chuck.
And so they're telling Chuck, I don't know who you think you are, but it's people like, or who you're fighting for, but it's people like you who turned this nation upside down. And nobody is beyond the law.
Of course, this is what every classic incompetent cop says to the hero because they don't have the balls to do what Matt Hunter has to do to keep us safe. So then we click back to Rostev. He's got 3 TVs. The stock market's crashing, martial law,
Dow's
race
down 30
riots,
points.
all this shit. And then he sees on one screen, Matt Hunter was arrested today, and he's being imprisoned in the same building where all these governors are going to be together to decide what to do about this invasion. 2 birds with 1 stone. He's like, I can destroy the city and kill my nemesis at once. So he's fucking hyped.
Yep.
So first thing he does, he goes to there was like a place with like armored cars. I don't know what the fuck that's at. That actually was pretty impressive. That explosion. I thought the guy almost got killed.
Yeah. There's a lot of good special effects in this movie.
I don't think that's a special effect. That's a real stunt.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's still an effect and it's special because the guy almost died. That's special to me.
Okay.
So no, there's a lot to enjoy about this movie, and the fact that they didn't try to like water it down with a bunch of shitty backstory on Chuck. They're just like, he's a badass. You get it. Rostov's kind of a badass, but he's also haunted by
He finally
Hunter.
met a bigger badass. And He doesn't know what to do.
Exactly. We're going into the whole Rocky and the Russian guy.
Drago.
Perfect.
That's a
where,
perfect example.
If they did a sequel to that Rocky movie, Drago would wake up in a cold sweat and be like, Rocky, that's this movie.
Drago would have said, if he dies, time to die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like, time to die Matt Hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
So they bust into this like place that has all these armored cars. They steal them. They show up. The army's gone. There's all these like sandbags, all this shit, machine guns, everything. But the army is gone.
Yep.
They took off. So they're like, Yahoo! And they're just like shooting it up. Of course, Rostov, he's a pimp. So he's like, I'm taking a helicopter to this building. So he takes the helicopter, all his henchmen, all of them. He's like, get them all together. This is the final battle.
Hunter.
Right. So all his henchmen are downstairs, blowing shit up, shooting their guns up. Yeehaw! Like some Wool West shit. Rostov lands on the top of the building in his helicopter, gets out, enters through the top. Helicopter sitting there. Uh-oh. Matt Hunter comes out of the side of that, like, I don't know what it is, not a building, wherever the stairs are. He comes out from behind there, bazookas the fuck out of the helicopter, blows it to shit.
And of course, we missed one of the most dramatic It's Time to Die's. Because when he was getting hauled in by the military, he's on the news that Rostov's watching.
Oh, yeah, because he wanted to really draw him out. He's like, I got to really draw him out. So he's like, Nico was easy. Now it's your turn. One night, you're going to close your eyes. And when they open, I'll be there. It'll be time to die. And that totally enrages fucking Rostov. That's what set him off.
And that's funny because it's like I when I saw that at first, I was just like, motherfucking Chuck's playing this like a fiddle. Not just a fiddle, because he's playing the Americans and the invaders. He's playing a double fiddle. Both sides at the same time. I've tried it. It's not impossible because Chuck did it. It's very difficult.
Near impossible.
Near impossible. It's Chuck possible. We're going to go ahead and use that as a whole new thing. It's Chuck possible.
Right. So Chuck blows up the helicopter, so Rostov has no escape.
No escape.
So,
no
and
retreat,
I think
no
at
surrender.
this time, exactly, at this time, Rostov hears it blowing up. He's like, it's a trap! Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I don't think so, buddy. Because
Too late.
using his ninja skills, Chuck somehow gets into the office building. They're in an office building.
They're in some big office building. Of course, this movie ends with the climactic scenes in cubicles.
Right. And cubicles also can stop bullets because you can hide behind a cubicle wall and you will not get shot.
They're not just cardboard and like some styrofoam.
So Chuck just commences killing all of his henchmen. Like this, did he have an automatic grenade launcher? Because there's a scene where two henchmen are hiding in a room, and Chuck uses his samurai sixth sense. He can sense they're in that room. So he, in like one swoop, he blows the fuck out of two huge holes in the wall. And that could have been done by a machine gun. Because he had a little like grenade launcher hooked up to his machine gun.
Well, a lot of the guns they had in this movie had a grenade launcher attachment, so probably.
But he does it at one time. It's not like he goes... It's like he had an automatic grenade launcher. They just sprayed out.
Yeah, it must have been a very fast reloading grenade launcher.
He blows them away. Rostov's freaking the fuck out, shooting at everything.
No different than what the people had on the fan boats earlier on in the movie. They were shooting grenades like mad.
Yeah.
That's what they blew up Matt's house with.
It's a callback.
Exactly.
So, meanwhile, down below, the army finally does show up because they set this trap. They commence to blow the fuck away all of Rostov's men because he got his whole army there. They get murdered by the army. Good riddance. Fuck you. Back to Chuck. Chuck is stalking Rostov now. He's using ninja tricks. He's just popping up here and there, kicking the shit out of her. He just kicks Rostov in the face. Rostov goes flipping over on a cubicle.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it, and I kind of complained about it with the American Ninja, where American Ninja kicked the shit out of Steve James, and there was no, like, Steve James got nothing in. This was fitting. Because Rostov gets nothing in on this fight. He gets total shit kicked out of him.
This is his nightmare. He's
petrified by fear.
He doesn't beat his fear. He doesn't eat it like a samurai should. And Chuck is a fucking 8-level samurai, so of course he's eating his fear, and he's, so he's just stalking poor Rostov, and Rostov, of course,
it's
gets
so
cornered.
bad you feel sorry for Rostov, and he's a piece of shit.
So he gets cornered, and he's just waiting.
Well,
for
Rostov,
Chuck.
this is. I think this is the very first ever bazooka off.
Yeah,
because Rostov gets his bazooka, Chuck gets his,
and he's got it aimed at a doorway that I don't think Chuck pops through.
Yeah, because Chuck's using his ninjutsu on him, so Chuck sneaks up behind him. Rostov's just freaking out, and this is the final. Time to die.
Doesn't even get die out.
He doesn't even get die out.
He gets it's time, and then you hear the rocket launcher prep up, and the rocket fire off,
and it blows Rostov through a window.
You just see the cut of below the window outside.
Well, for a split second, you see a shitty like mannequin.
Yeah,
get hit with a rocket
and
launcher.
then you see a little foot with an ankle attached to it, and you see like a blown apart mannequin head come out.
And what I loved about it, that's it. Movie over. There's no epilogue.
No.
He just gets blown out of a fucking window.
There's no relationships to like sew up here. Yeah. The lady who you thought there was a sexual attraction with, nope.
You thought something.
The guy, gone. The CIA guy, who cares? I loved it because they were just like, no, Chuck.
This isn't like Lord of the Rings, which is 20 minutes of wrap up. This isn't like Marvel movies where all these fucking after credit shit. It's just boom, he's dead. Go home.
there's so much respect for this kind of ending. Just like last week, it's just like final moment, guy wins. We're done here. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Wrap. That's a wrap. And that is exactly what this movie does.
Well, how can you top blowing someone out of a window with a bazooka?
The bazooka off is amazing. I've been waiting. We've done 9 movies. This is the 10th one, and it took this long to really get. I mean, of course, American Ninja had a bazooka, but it was that weird one. This was just like legit. Bronson can even hold this guy up. Bronson couldn't hold up.
That's a low
bazooka.
blow, but I'll ignore it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this ends the most spectacular way, the most 4th of July way when you think about it that it could, because some bombs were bursting in air.
Yeah.
And so was Rostov.
Yeah. Some fucking commie invaders. Immigrate that.
So
bastard.
hey Putin, you're on notice. Time to die for you.
Speaking of Putin, I got some big news about the next episode. I'm so fucking stoked for this.
Tell me about it.
Well, if anybody follows NPR articles, I like to brush up on them. I usually check every day and see what we got going on there. Well, our friend Steven Seagal has been hanging out with Vladimir Putin. Apparently he's teaching him some, what was he, do a keto?
Yes, he does a keto.
Yeah, so he's been teaching Putin a keto.
Do you think, I can't believe Zen Master Seagal is working against us. Do you think he's trying to turn Putin to like the good side of the force?
He might be. I don't know what to say. Like, I've got a lot of stuff prepared for this episode because the facts that are pushed as real, and I don't know what to interpret them as, but I'm going to read them as stated for this episode or the following episode. He might be, but he really does think that America needs to change their mind on Putin. That's all I got to say about that.
He wants us to like be friends with Putin?
It's like Rodman and Kim Jong-un.
Steven Seagal's turned to the dark. He's a fellow Detroiter, man. I don't want to see that.
What, Rodman?
Well, he played Detroit. No, fucking Steven Seagal's from Detroit.
Is he?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, it was in that article you sent me. It said from Detroit.
No fuck.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah. He can't be. He's from Detroit. He can't be bad. He's from Chicago, I would say, yeah. He's a horrible person.
God damn. Well, I've already ruined the I led with kind of the big punchline there, but yeah, it's going to be a Steven Seagal movie, and we're going to be...
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. We're actually going to step out of our comfort zone. I'm surprised he's never worked with Canon Films.
It doesn't make sense because he is perfect Golan-Globus material.
Right, so this will not be a Golan-Globus film, but it will definitely have the feel, the vibe, the taste of a Golan-Globus film.
We're going to be going on a little road trip here, I think for the next 2 episodes, right?
Right. We're not going to be restrained by...
Yeah.
Because we're celebrating our freedom today, Gra.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we don't know what's going to be a third week ahead, but we know the next 2 movies are not G&G. We're doing a road trip here.
Right.
We're doing what we want because we can do that because we're Americans and we're free.
Right.
So what you can look forward to next week, some Hard to Kill.
I can't wait because I saw that in the theaters, and I don't remember anything about it outside of the fact that he was in a coma and he had long hair and a beard.
Well, you've got a treat waiting for you. I've seen this movie probably 40 times. That's wonderful.
39 more times than I have, so I'm looking forward to it.
And I hope everybody else is looking forward to it. And you know what? Happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed our super show here.
Enjoy the 4th, but please chill out with the fireworks because they're really fucking my dog up a lot. So can everybody just calm down a little? Enjoy America. Enjoy your 4th of July. If you're listening to this outside the country, enjoy your Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or enjoy your 4th of July. It just doesn't mean shit to you.
Yeah. Maybe a good substitute for fireworks is microwave popcorn. It pops. You can watch it.
And
it's got
a tasty
a light.
treat. And you could add some grilled hot dogs to it, and there you go.
Oh, my God. Hydra Phil seems like he hates me, but maybe I'll pass that along. Like, maybe do some chopped up, what does he call them? Perfectly grilled hot dogs?
Yeah.
Maybe he can chop some of those up and throw them in his popcorn, and that'll be a good treat.
Yeah, adds that nice salty taste to your popcorn.
Salt on salt.
Very heart smart.
I'll throw that because, I don't want the guy to hate me. I don't like that. I don't like anybody hating me, so I'll throw that at him. Maybe I'll get him back on my side.
You can hope so.
I hope so, too.
So as always, thank you for listening. Please spread the word, or don't. Who gives a shit anymore?
Yeah.
And keep it warm.
Hey, beep, 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 bye. Hello, today's outro is me and some bad music in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's there. Deal with it. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.